I'm Scott Patrick in the Dish Studio. Some of the best comic talents of our time, actor John C. McGinley and comedian Dana Gould team up for the scariest new comedy of the year. Stan Against Evil is all new Wednesday nights on IFC, that's channel 133 on Dish. John C. McGinley is Stan, a disgraced former sheriff of a New England town. The town has a small issue of demons and the undead. Janet Varney plays the new sheriff dealing with this same horror show. And the madman behind all this is comedian Dana Gould, who is a longtime writer on The Simpsons. Our Jessica York talked to John and Janet and Dana about Stan.
Oh, yeah.
All I want to do is nothing, and I can't even do that.
Stan Against Evil, Wednesdays at 10, starts November 2nd on IFC.
Stan Against Evil. Very new, funny, scary show on IFC. Do you call this is it funny first, or is it a horror show first, or is it
The show is a comedy that lives inside of a horror show. And the goal of the show is to be funny. The nature of the show is such that it is a comedy show in which we get to blow up demons, flip cars, get people sealed in giant cobwebs. Janet got her throat slit.
You're covered.
All sorts, yeah.
Thank you.
All sorts of. It's like a horror action show, and then to be able to play the comedy in the middle of all that world, it's dense. I approached this like, how can I do a show that is as entertaining as a Simpsons Halloween episode? And can I make the show as dense as those shows are in terms of the entertainment that you cram into it? And having written 7 seasons worth of them, I can tell you there's a lot in there. And in this one, it's the jokes, and it's also the action and the scares, but they all operate separately from each other. The scares are really scary. The action is really real action. Nothing is joking about itself or winking, and then the characters themselves are really funny.
This whole town's haunted. Just because of the witch burnings?
172 falsely accused witches want us dead.
Well, don't crap an apple. Let me take care of it.
And you play an ex-sheriff, but there is a new sheriff in town. Tell us about your characters.
We meet me on at my wife of 27 years funeral. I see a witch at the funeral, so I beat the shit out of the witch.
As you do.
And then I get fired, and then Janet shows up 72 hours later, and I haven't left the sheriff's station yet because either denial or loss or whatever that is. And so I've lost my wife, and Janet shows up to replace me. And she's much more capable and better at the job than I am, but can't acknowledge any of that while I'm trying to reconcile the loss of my wife and a stay-at-home daughter who's completely batshit crazy. And then Janet takes over.
But she doesn't sound like Clint Eastwood, so...
No, but she's also about to become most interesting, badass action protagonist female on the planet. So
yeah.
She's capable.
Yeah. There's a lot of Clint Eastwood, Gran Torino Clint Eastwood in Stan of this. There's a broken Atlas kind of man whose future is behind him, trying to find some sense going forward in his life. And to me, Janet is Harrison Ford. She's beautiful the way Harrison Ford is very handsome. She's down to earth in the way that Harrison Ford is very relatable, and she's an action hero. And she gets to do this in the show. And because if there were no supernatural curse on these two people, their paths would never cross, and Janet would have that job in the pocket. But the playing field is not level, and they're thrown into this very uneasy alliance. And watching these two people come to terms with that and come to a level of acceptance with each other in their lives is the real fun of the show, and that's the real beating heart of the show.
28 years. I was a sheriff for 28 years. Never got tied to a stake. You're here exactly 1 week.
Could you just untie me, please?
1 week. Jeez, lady. Anybody ever tell you you look like a barrel of holes?
none of you are strangers to comedy. Was it fun to play in this world where you get to slash things up and you get fake blood thrown all over you and fire ants and cicadas and possible snakes?
Yeah, most of the things you listed have nothing to do with our show and only have to do with our location.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes.
Yeah. Well, it just adds to the texture of reality, right?
That's actually very true. When I was tied to a stake and a tick landed on my arm, I really used that for my character.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, here I go. I'm going to panic. And also there's a demon coming towards me.
Right.
Stella Stannis! Using my authority as the current constable of the Willersville Township, I hereby pardon you of the false charge of witchcraft.
Pipe to the head. Never fails. Not that I've ever done that to a suspect. That would, of course, be illegal.
And they have some chemistry together? They work well together?
If they didn't, man, this show would suck.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really, really, really fun.
What were some of your favorite special effects to deal with, or did you struggle with any? I know sometimes they say like the amounts of blood coming at you sometimes can be overwhelming.
Well,
Yeah. They don't tell you you won't be able to breathe some of the time because the liquid is near all your face holes.
yeah.
To put it medically.
Basically waterboarding.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. 100%. 100% right. Yeah.
And did you tell all your secrets after?
I did. I did. They're all very dull. Very dull.
There
but-
was a moment in the first episode where we were in a swamp in Georgia at 2:30 in the morning, and I had to walk up to Janet after basically she was waterboarded, and I said, I'm so sorry. It seemed so funny when I was just sitting in my kitchen.
He's very good at apologizing afterward.
After the fact.
Yeah.
Well, we've been stalking you on the Instagrams,
They're not the
and I have a shot here that you posted of Hitler and the puppeteer.
Yeah,
Are they're both on the show?
yeah.
Wow,
That's great.
yeah, wow. How did you get Hitler?
Hitler's on an episode, and we needed a puppeteer. And in real life, I'm dating one of them, and it's not Hitler. But yeah, no, we had, or is it? There is an episode where Stan is in an alternate reality that he does not know is an alternate reality. And the only way that Evie can contact him is through something that he is passionate about. And he is passionate about World War II documentaries. So the only way that she can communicate with him is through Hitler on an old World War II documentary that he's watching at the time. The puppeteer is when you have a demonic possessed Pomeranian, you need a puppeteer.
Yeah, we got a lot of cute stuff that gets uncute real fast
Yeah.
on the show.
Hello, young. Tonight? Is this who you went picking berries with?
No, you seem like it's you all alone!
Oh, don't they all?
And then this one is after you wrapped, and it's just a great photo because you look so proud. You look really proud. You look a little stunned. But you look very
I
proud.
was acting. I did a lot of acting that night, didn't I?
Yes, you did that night.
Yeah.
You had to go some places. I remember showing that photo to my daughter going, "This is the proudest I've ever been." And they just stared at me.
Oh, Dad. What about me?
Good showbiz answer.
So if you were trying to explain this to somebody, how would you explain this show?
What I say is if you love to laugh and you love to scream and you only have a half an hour, we're the show for you.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Hey. You want to get shot?
no. I don't ever want to get shot.
And it seems like IFC is the perfect place for a show like this.
I can think of no other place. It is a comedy. It belongs on the same shelf with Portlandia and Documentary Now, and we would like to think that it is as unique to itself as those shows are to themselves. And I am, as you can tell in that photo, I'm incredibly proud and happy with the show. And everyone, everyone was great. It was just one of those things where everything lined up, and it was just like, it shouldn't be this easy. It shouldn't be this fun. And yeah, most of my bad feelings are things I made my friends have to do.
And we had an amazing
I didn't know you were afraid of spiders,
well,
Janet.
Now you know.
Here's a 6-foot spider.
That's right. Thank you for that exposure therapy. No, we had this. We worked in such a condensed time, and the people that we had working on it in every aspect of the production loved it and loved what we were doing and were excited about it. And I think you can feel that when you see the end result, and you have to have that for as hard as everyone was working. People were just showing up and giving beyond their A game, and that is what makes it possible. I would have stunk it up if we hadn't had all of those people, behind the scenes, making their magic happen.
Yeah. To the dear souls that Claire hath left behind, her daughter Denise, her beloved husband, Sheriff Stanley Miller, earth to earth, ashes to ashes.
Claire Miller, what the hell were you up to?
Stand Against Evil, Wednesdays at 10, starts November 2nd on IFC.
Hey, I'm Janet Varney.
Hi, I'm Johnny C. McGinley.
I'm Dana Gould, inviting you
To watch Stand Against Evil
on IFC.
Stand Against Evil is a brand new series Wednesday nights on IFC. That's channel 133 on Dish. My thanks to John, Janet, and Dana, and everyone at IFC. Don't miss the scary new funny series, Stand Against Evil, Wednesday nights on channel 133. In the Dish studio, I'm Scott Patrick.